Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome to Efficient Skilling Frequently Asked Questions. This is a new series that will come up on my channel every so often. I get a lot of questions in my comments and in my Twitch chat, and many of the same ones get asked many times. And while I don't mind answering them repeatedly, I feel like putting those answers into video format could be helpful for a lot of people. And even if you are a higher level player, you might still learn a thing or two. To start off with, I've gathered some questions I get a lot that I could think of off the top of my head, but if at any time you think of questions that either you are curious about, or I think would be helpful to others to have answered, feel free to leave a comment and I'll use it if it seems fitting. The more questions I get, the more of these videos I can make. The first question I'd like to tackle is a stepping stone to understanding more complex skilling methods. I talk about game ticks and tick manipulation and often talk about time to complete an action in terms of ticks, but what actually is a game tick? A game tick is a unit of time that is 0.6 seconds. It is slightly imprecise because if it was a perfect 0.6 seconds then there would be 6,000 ticks in every hour, but there tend to be more like 5,970 from what I've heard. JGeeks likely chose 0.6 seconds for a game tick because it means that a minute is an even 100 ticks. Why do game ticks matter? Every action in RuneScape either takes no time at all and is only limited by clicking speed, such as fletching darts or bolts, or takes a certain amount of time, which is always a certain number of game ticks. For example, High Alchemy can be cast every 5 game ticks or 3 seconds, meaning that if you never misclicked, you'd be able to cast roughly 1200 alchs per hour, which caps it at a 78,000 potential XP per hour. Catching any fish also takes a minimum of 5 ticks without more complicated fishing methods, meaning that while you are fishing at a fishing spot, you have a chance of getting a fish every 3 seconds or 5 ticks. Woodcutting by default is 4 ticks per log, and mining is 3 ticks per ore. The attack speed of common weapons like the Abyssal Whip, Dragon Scimitar, and Abyssal Bludgeon is 4 ticks, and blowpipes and darts attack every 2 ticks. I could keep going on, but you probably get the basic idea. Ticks are the building block of RuneScape, and if you want to really examine and fine-tune your gameplay, it's good to understand how they work and what they mean. For now, I just want to cover the basics of game ticks, but if you'd like further information, there's a link on screen to an excellent in-depth explanation of game ticks by Jamal's Batman, who definitely does it better than I ever could. What is that spell that you are always casting? It's a spell off the lunar spellbook called Magic Imbue. Its actual purpose in-game is that it allows runecrafters to make combination runes without the need for a talisman. Crafting lava runes is a common training method for runecrafting and people use it there, but you will often see players casting it all around RuneScape while training other skills. It requires 82 magic, costs 2 Astral runes, 7 fire runes, and 7 water runes, and can be cast at most every 21 game ticks or 12.6 seconds. It grants 86 magic experience and can be cast no matter what you're doing as long as you have the runes in your inventory. People use it to slowly accumulate magic experience without wasting any time. It doesn't interrupt any other actions, so you can cast it while doing most skills if you take Astral runes and wield a Steam Staff. It comes in anywhere from 15 to 24k XP per hour depending on what skill you're training alongside it. At the Ardoin rooftop, it's about 20k experience per hour with only 3 casts per lap, which is an extra 3 clicks per agility lap to increase your total XP per hour by about 33%. From 99 agility, you'll get about 4 mil magic XP, and if you use Magic Imbue while getting a few other 99s, you'll have 99 magic without spending any time actually training the skill on its own. With current prices, it costs around 4.3 GP per XP, meaning 99 will cost around 45 mil from level 82, but most other methods will take in the region of 50 to 100 hours of magic training to get 99, and in that time saved, you can make more than 45 mil doing runecrafting or another good money making method. Imbuing also becomes a bit of an obsession once you start doing it, so bear that in mind. Why don't you pick up your Marks of Grace? The short answer to this is that I do, just not every lap. At the Ardoin rooftop course, there is only one spawn point for Marks of Grace, which is at the end of the plank obstacle. Marks of Grace are stackable items, and every time a new one is spawned on the same square, it resets the timer for the marks to despawn. This means that as long as you're continually doing laps, your marks will never disappear. If they will stay there forever, there's no point in wasting time picking them up every lap. However, if you go AFK for a few minutes, you should pick up your stack or else you might lose them since you're not spawning new marks while you're not doing agility. Please keep in mind that this only applies to the Ardoin course, because every other rooftop course has multiple spawn points and they won't spawn fast enough to prevent loss of marks. Why do you use cannonballs on your cannon instead of just clicking on the cannon to refill it? Being able to click on the cannon to refill it is nice, but it causes a delay that manually using cannonballs on it does not. If you time refilling your cannon right, you can do it between attack ticks of your whip and not interrupt your melee at all, and this is not possible if you do it just by left-clicking the cannon. It's a small thing, but it does get asked fairly often, and if I can save a tick or two every time I refill the cannon, then I may as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the first installment of Efficient Skilling FAQ, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video. If you have a question you'd like to be answered, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I will see you guys all soon with more videos.